Hello, good morning to all our students of Karnataka State Open University, the first year BA BCom students of January session. Good morning again to dear students. I am Dr. Nataraju, the chairperson, Department of Studies and Research in English, KSOU, Mukthagangothri, Mysore. It's my pleasant principle to welcome all the first year BA BCom students to the Department of English. This is the moment I take immense pleasure to express my sincere thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Vidya Shankar, Registrar Professor Rajanna, Dean Academic Professor Atul Kamble, the Coordinator Dr. Chandrasekhar, Skill Development Program for conducting online classes for newly admitted students of 2021 January session. And this is the course. So all of you are aware now the course that you are opted as for your skill development program. There are many options that you have gone through already. And this is a section, this is a class for those who have selected this subject, that is skill development course, English for communication and soft skills. So look at the title, the way it is prepared. English for communication and the soft skills. So here you study the entire the skills such as reading, the writing, listening, and speaking skills, which are the very important in English communication and the soft skills. Oh, keeping in mind the syllabus that is for English for communication and the soft skills prepared in two units. The unit one talks about the teaching grammar, the way you study the fundamentals of the grammar. You are the first year BA become student. I must introduce you the basic, the grammar, the essential grammar that we have prescribed in the syllabus. The first is we have the different kinds of sentences. You're aware of the kind of statement, imperative, interrogative, and many other types of sentences that we have included in the syllabus because the student will aware of the basic, the structure, how a sentence is being formed. So, because when you talk about the communications and the soft skills, the fundamental question that arises is what is a language? Okay, that's a big question. The what is a sentence? So the language is important, then the sentence is important. For example, if I ask you a question, what is a language? You say that language is a media of communication which expresses our thoughts and ideas. So that is the basic, the tool, the kind of weapon we are using language to communicate one another. So this is the important question is what is a language? After that, if I ask you a question, what is a sentence? So sentence is a group of words which gives complete meaning. So how a sentence is being formed? When we talk about the sentence, we have a subject, the verb, and the object. So in the grammar, when you make a sentence, the subject is a very essential, the verb on the object. So keeping in mind all these components, the syllabus is framed, and here we're going to teach you all that. After that, you have the reported speech, what we call it a direct and indirect speech, will be dealt gradually today, tomorrow, and then to tomorrow. And today I'm going to teach you the three important components. One is the what is tense, and then the role of auxiliary verb and the modal auxiliary verb in the tense formation. And after that, the role of phrasal verbs and how phrasal verbs are being formed, and what is idioms and phrases. So keeping in mind, so I'm going to teach you in the today's class. And there are other grammar aspects which will be dealt in tomorrow's class and the tomorrow classes like active and passive voice, degrees of comparison, and then you have simple, compound, and complex sentences which you come across in the unit one, that is the teaching grammar. And the second unit, you have the listening and speaking skills where you understand the fundamentals of phonetics. That you understand when you come to the second year. So in the first year, you understand the basic, the nuances of what actually the grammar is all about. So today, I must also emphasize on certain things. Why this syllabus is being framed? What is the importance, the message that we are going to give to entire student fraternity by introducing this syllabus? That is English for communication with soft skills. And the students, you have to aware, you have to keep in mind one thing that the syllabus is framed keeping in mind certain objectives and certain learning outcomes. Unless you do not understand the introduction, the objectives, and the learning outcomes, mere dealing with the grammar portions will never help you in terms of understanding grammar and the language holistically, systematically. Coming to this, what we have set in our mind when we send this syllabus for the students to how does it help you out? What are you going to learn from this course? What are you going to learn from this skill development course? This is used for communication with soft skills. What you have to keep in your mind? The fundamental thing is this. Listen carefully. So learning is a pleasurable experience. Learning can also be a miserable experience unless if you do not put your heart and soul effort, unless if you do not learn with certain religious dictum, unless if you do not read and learn with lot of enthusiasm or with a devotion, it is a certain it becomes unmiserable. So you have to make it learning as a pleasurable experience by understanding the how the language plays a vital role in our day-to-day life. So English language is such that where everybody embrace of it, where everybody are looking for, where everybody try to learn it for the personality traits of the language student or the teacher. So I must tell one thing that learning can be a pleasurable experience. So what makes learning possible is motivation. So there has to be somebody who motivates you to pick up a language. There has to be a trainer. There has to be a mentor. There has to be a teacher who will motivate in the student's mind. So this is the core question that I must tell you that actually you all require motivation. That's possible when you frame the syllabus with easily reachable to the student's ability. So this course is live over. So why do we need to learn a language? This is a fundamental question. Obviously, in order to communicate with others, to express our ideas, to share our joys, and rid ourselves from the problems. So, what do we have to learn a language? We need to learn a language in order to express our ideas. You have something in your mind, you need to communicate in English. How do you do that? For this, we need to understand the how English language is being formed, how we can create a sentence. I told you in the beginning, in the introduction of this class, that a subject, the verb, and the object. So how we can create a subject, after that a helping verb, after that a main verb, after that object. If you are aware of how to create a sentence, then in the beginning, then gradually you are able to use different kinds of grammar in your talking. For example, you may use idioms and phrases. Gradually you may use the phrasal verb. Gradually you may use different types of sentences that we have included in the syllabus. So the communication skills are a function of a certain psychological, attitudinal, personality trait and a sense of a language. So this course will enable in the learner the kind of the personality trait, a sense of a language. Yes, in terms of when you learn the phonetics, when you learn the intonation, when you learn the basic, the nuances of a language through this course, you will certainly enjoy and you will develop a kind of a attitudinal and a psychological trait which really help for the betterment of your, the growth in terms of a good speaker. And then, in order to prove one's excellence at communication, a candidate needs to master the language skills. So, the language skills are very, very essential. And this course, English for Communication and the Soft Skills, aims to equip students with a sound knowledge of English language and a firm foundation to enhance the skills in written and the spoken mode. So keeping in mind both the written as well as spoken mode, we have formed this syllabus. This is one thing. And I must tell you, there's a great writer, an essay called Francis Bacon. The Francis Bacon is Elizabethan essay, is a writer. And he tells in his the significant essay called Auxiliaries, where he mentions reading make it a full man, conference a ready man, and the writing an exact man. So reading make it a full man, confidence a ready man, writing an exact man. When you read and become an avid reader, an voracious reader, you will become a full man. And after that, you read and discuss and you share your ideas with one another. And when you concentrate and you gradually, you will have a kind of a stability, you will have a confidence and confidence and the writing. After you discuss, after you write something, when you put forth your ideas in the writing, and white, and you become an exact man. So keeping in mind the words of Francis Bacon, we have found this syllabus. What is that? This course it aims to equip students with a sound knowledge of English language and a firm foundation to enhance the skills in written and spoken mode. So the words of Bacon is a very much applicable in this current scenario, and that is reading like a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. So how after you read and after you discuss and assimilate your ideas and you support your what viewpoint to your writing, and you become exact man. That's what Bacon says. So writing is a very very important component in everyone's life, and it's also very difficult to write unless if you never thorough with your the primary readings and discussions. After that, you can put your viewpoint. And after that, this course has certain objectives because this is the first day class. I must tell you certain objectives and the learning outcomes for the first year students so that they will aware of, they will understand, the basic, the principles of English language. The objective of this course is to provide the expertise in the language and communication skills. And the second is to evolve the different ways of testing language proficiency. So after the first and the second and the third unit, when you go through your accent utilization, phonetics, and reading from literary excerpts, you will see the kind of a language proficiency that you gain over a period of time. And also to enhance the candidate's ability to understand the dynamics of social interaction. So after you attend this class, if after you read the entire course, after you learn something from this course, after you felt that you are confident enough, you will certainly understand the dynamics of the social interaction. So how this English grammar, such as like auxiliary and the model auxiliaries and the phrasal verbs and idioms and phrases and the tense formation will certainly help you to make a kind of a dynamics of social interaction. Yes, in order to interact, one must have a language capability, language efficiency in fact. After that, so what are the learning outcomes? So what are the core fundamentals of this program after you completed it in the first year? So by the end of this course, the students are able to, you should be able to interact with the academic content in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. You also be aware of that when you interact with your academic content, academic language, see there is a larger difference from the people from academic and the non-academic. The academic people, their language is entirely different. The value policy and the approach is entirely different from the non-academic because the academic people, they're oriented. They're learned through academic curriculum. So that is important. So interact with academic content in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. This is the core question that we are going to inculcate among the students community in this program, in this English communication with us. So the second important learning outcome that we have to aware of that enhance the language skills as well as the cognitive ability. For example, we have certain grammar laws and comprehension and expansion of an idea. The way the student will understand the kind of a cognitive ability, the grasping, comprehending ideology from the extract from the passages and the famous lines and and after that you will be in a position to you will be able to demonstrate things physically in English language and communication. So you need to demonstrate to think physically in English language and communication. So dear students, keeping in mind all these important components that you should be aware of the how this course that is English language communication with skills will enable the students in terms of pick up the fundamentals of English language. Now, let me begin with the content that I'm going to teach you today. Is the first important component that is the role of auxiliary verbs and the model auxiliary verbs in a sentence. And after that, I will teach you, and the phrasal verb, and after that, I'll take up idioms and phrases. So these are the very variegated, the different kinds of grammar questions where you will understand how the sentences are being formed, how to create a sentence, how to make use of different idioms and phrases and the phrasal verbs in this considered situation, in the situation which is very very appropriate. So now I must ask you. Earlier I told you that what is the language, the sentence language. So now I must tell you that how the sentence example, I'll give you a sentence. For example, I write a novel. If I say a sentence, I write a novel. So I is a subject, the write is a verb, and a novel is the object. So every sentence, will have a subject, a verb, or the object. That you should keep in your mind. For instance, when I talking about the time, it's invariably and simultaneously, I will also pick up the role of auxiliary verbs and auxiliary verbs first, and then modal auxiliary verbs. For instance, we say auxiliary verbs in another form, that is helping verbs. We have a helping verb and auxiliary verb. They are one of the same. For example, there are certain the helping verb, for instance. I must tell you an example. ISE is the present tense form, and we have was. Is, was, are, were, and has, and then you have modal auxiliaries like can, should, may, might, will, would, shall, should, dare, ought, and need. These are the auxiliary verbs and the modal auxiliary verbs. So I'll teach you one after another, one after another. First, I must take you how tense is being formed. How the tenses in English language, and how the auxiliary verbs are interwoven in a tense formation. For example, I must tell you there are three types of tense formation in English language. First is you all know that it's the present tense. For example, I said the sentence that is, I write a novel, it is in a present form because the verb it is in a present form. What are the verb forms? The tense form for write. You say the write, wrote, written. Of course, all of you are aware of how the tense formation in this language. For example, you have sing, sang, and sung. So in the same way, you have a n number of verbs where you keep seeing the tense formation. So here we have a first sentence that is a simple present tense. If I say simple present tense, the example is I write a novel. So because I is the subject, the verb is the write, and novel is the object. So you know that this is an example, perfect example for the a simple present tense. And we have, as I told you, we have three tense, that is the present, past, and the future. So you all should be aware of the ancient tense, for example, present, past, and the future, will be divided into four types of sentences. All of you are aware of. So whenever we make a sentence, whenever we create a sentence, whenever we utter a sentence in our daily conversation, in our daily language, the sentence that we speak will be on among these four sentences. These are the four tense formations, and all of you should be aware of. There are 12 types of sentences, tense formation. The 12 types of tense formation in English, and this will be one among the sentences among what we speak. For example, a simple present tense, and after that we have a present continuous, and then a present perfect, and then present perfect continuous tense. So only thing that we have to add the present, past, and the future. So all of you, first the basic, the fundamental, the component of English language much before the past speech. What do you call a noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, interjection, and the conjunction. Much before that, and all of you have to be aware of this tense formation. So for example, if I say I write a novel, if I say I am writing a novel, it is very good. So I write a novel is entirely different from I am writing a novel. If I say I write a novel, that you haven't begun at. You haven't begun at. So what happens when you say that I am writing a novel, which means you're writing here. You're writing here. When you say that I have written a novel, that means you already have written a novel. And after that, I have been writing a novel. That means you have been writing the novel since many days. So there are different types of sentences that you can form the same sentence. For example, the I write a novel converted here into four types of sentences. That is a very, very important. So any sentence for that matter, you take a sentence and convert it into the four types. It could be present, it could be past, or it could be a future. So now let me get back to how this transformation is being followed. A simple present tense, a present continuous tense, a present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense before title sentence in present form. And now the simple past tense. I'm talking with the past tense. Again, the past continuous tense and then past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense. I repeat, the simple past tense, past continuous tense, the past perfect tense, past perfect continuous tense. And the same thing to do with the future too. So how the future tense is being formed? A simple future tense, the future continuous tense, and the future perfect tense, and the future perfect continuous tense. So the same three sentences are converted into 12 types of sentences. So whatever we speak in present form will be one among them. And the past tense, one among them. The same thing with the future tense. Whatever we speak in the present form and the past and the future among these four types of sentences, as I told you, simple and the continuous tense and the perfect tense and present tense and perfect continuous tense. You should be aware of. So let us take an example. If I say I write a novel, if it is in a present tense, what is the present continuous tense? I am writing a novel. See, in the earlier sentence, you did not come across auxiliary verb. Whereas in the second sentence, I am writing a novel, you saw, am is a, auxiliary verb. I told you how auxiliary verbs are being used in present continuous tense. So now, if you look at the present perfect tense, the same sentence, look at how model auxiliary, auxiliary verb is used. I have written a novel. So have is a auxiliary verb here. So have has to be used only in front of the I or we or any plural form. Keep it in mind, I is also singular, but it is a it's a pronoun that where you have to use have. You know, so this is one thing. So I have written a novel, and another sentence. The last sentence that we have is present perfect continuous tense. I have been writing a novel. I have been writing a novel. So here, look at the auxiliary verb, have been. In the first sentence, we did not come across any auxiliary verb. I write a novel. It is a present tense. In the second sentence, present continuous tense, we are using the word I am writing a novel. So first time we saw an auxiliary verb here, that is am is an auxiliary verb. And the third sentence, I have written a novel where in front of I is the pronoun, we have to use have. So we can't use the word has because as we use only in terms of pronouns such as like singular, like we have a third person like he, she, are, it. So here I have written a novel. So have is a auxiliary verb that we should be aware of to be used in front of I. And the last sentence present perfect continuous tense where we're using the word I have been writing a novel. I have been writing a novel. It means we have been writing a novel since many years, since many months. So let me tell you the meaning of every sentence. So I write a novel, that means yes, you're about to write a novel. I'm writing a novel, that means you're writing now. And I have written a novel, and already you have written it, and have been writing a novel, that means you have been writing since many years, but you have not completed it. That's the point. So now the same present tense is formed into four types of sentences, tense formation in English language. You take any number of sentences, for instance, if I use a word, if I say an example called, I sing a song, she sings a song. Let us take the person. She sings a song. If I say I sing a song, so when you use the third person like she or it, the verb will be ended with the word yes. For example, she sings, he sings, it sings. For example, a bird sings. Whereas if I use the word I, the verb will never end with a yes. For example, I sing, I write, getting my point. So I like, but when it comes to third person, like he is, the word will be ended with the word called yes. So now, these are the, for example, I was telling you about the systems of song. The sentence in the, no, the present continuous tense, how will that be changed? It is changed as he singing a song. In the present tense, he sings a song. In the present continuous tense, it is she singing a song. So he is a, is a auxiliary verb, helping verb. And the third one, the present perfect tense, that is, he has sung the song. Okay, in the present perfect, you have to use the past participle. For example, singing is a present tense. Singing is a present continuous tense, and then sang is a past tense. Sung is a past participle. When it comes to present perfect, you need to use the word past participle, not a mere past tense. You have to use past participle. In the last sentence, she has been singing a song. Like, I have been writing a novel. The same way here is been and she has been singing a song. Look at that how sentences are being formed in a multiple ways. You take any number of sentences and they will be formed into all these four types of sentences. These students, I must tell you at this center, you always think about when you think about the tense formation, you should also think about the four types of tenses. That is the simple present, present continuous tense, present perfect, present perfect continuous tense. If I say simple present, like I write a novel, I am writing a novel, I have written a novel, and have been writing a novel. And this is the same structure in the entire English grammar. There will be no change of word. So when it comes to another sentence, like she sings the song and she singing the song, she has sung the song and she has been singing the song. I must tell you very importantly, when you think about the present perfect tense, you should also think about the past participle. To get that right, for example, sing, sang, sung should be used in a perfect tense. And write, wrote, written should be used in a perfect present perfect tense. So you should be aware of this kind of a present formation. I'm certainly sure that all of you listening and you're able to follow. If somebody have a little doubt, if you want to have any, if you have any queries, you can always put your words and okay, some of your uh, mm, some of your okay. Yes, I think I'm audible. All of you, okay. Am I audible? Some of you, okay. Okay. Probably, if you're using so, uh, see, if you're using through mobile, probably you'll have certain problems. But those are using you're using through, laptop or, a laptop or a desktop. Certainly, you will have no problem. So now, is it okay that you're able to listen? Okay. 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 So probably you are using the gadget like if you are using the mobile phone, you will have certainly some problem. But anyhow, make sure that you are using your laptop or using okay, and see some of you are not having the all theory. Okay, and okay, so yeah, I think that's the reason. If you're not, if your internet is problems or if you're not able to using this, laptop or a desktop, you will have this problem. So coming back to this, coming back to the next sentence that you are, your another sentence that you have, the simple past tense. So this is so far you have learned the four types of sentences that we are using the present perfect and present continuous tense and then present perfect and present perfect continuous tense. So the next important the sentence that we are using is okay. So now is okay. I think the mic is perfectly all right. The mic is perfectly all right. So if I hold it all like this, you'll be able to listen it. Just tell me, just drop me a message to comment. Um, uh, as I told you that I always tell you people use the message of that you are using not the mobile phones in the class, laptop or a desktop. Anyhow, so when you talk about the simple past tense, this is this is how the sentence is being formed. That I wrote a novel. So in the earlier sentence, I write a novel. Will become here as I wrote a novel. I told you present is the write, and the past is the wrote, and the past participle is I told you is the written form. So coming back to here, simple past tense is written like this. So I wrote a novel. So this is the simple past tense. And now the past continuous tense. So this is what I was writing a novel. That means you was writing a novel. I mean, I was writing a novel. That is, it was telling in a past tense form. Come on, please, can you listen to that? Okay. Yes. Coming back to here. So in the earlier sentence, in the present continuous tense, the sentence was like this: I'm writing a novel. Whereas in the past continuous tense, it is like I was writing a novel. I was writing a novel. And the third sentence, that is past perfect tense, that is I had written a novel. When you talk about the past perfect, here the subject is a I, and the auxiliary verb is had, and the main verb that is in past participle and a novel. So I had written a novel. So you always think about when it comes to the past participle, there has to be the word had written should be here. But in the present perfect, it was have written. I have written. Whereas in the past participle, I had written. So this is one. The past perfect tense is I had written a novel, and past perfect continuous tense is I had been writing a novel. So the term, the past perfect continuous tense is I had been writing a novel. That is, in the past, you're referring that with between 2010 to 2019, during that time that I had been writing a novel. Whereas in 2021, I completed the novel in that time. So this is how you're going to use, you know, um, the tense formation. I repeat the tense formation. Simple past tense is I wrote a novel and there is no auxiliary verb. When it comes to simple past, simple present, simple past, in the future, you will never come across. So, dear students, that I was telling is, a simple past tense formation. That is, so now is it white is clear? Okay, now I'm holding the mic very closely to me so that you are able to listen now. So this is, I was talking about a simple past tense. Okay, some of you are saying that yes, yes, yes. I know you have to say yes or no, that doesn't matter. So I was talking about a simple past tense. That is, I wrote a novel, and the past continuous tense is, I was writing a novel, and the past perfect tense, that is, I had written a novel, and the past perfect, okay, the past perfect continuous tense is, I had been writing a novel. So the four sentences are converted into the different types of sentences. And the last sentence that you have is the simple future tense. So the present is over, and the past is also over, and now, so we are.
His voice is clear. So I was, talking about, the tense formation. Okay, so far you're attending the grammar classes, that is a skill development program. Dear student, will you just drop me a message that my voice is clear? Will anyone respond? Okay, fine. Yes, somebody replied to my message that the voice is clear now. So I was talking about this tense formation. There was a technical problem. There was voice problem was there, so I had to change another device so that your voice is okay. Fine. Okay, that's fine. So I was talking about this component that the tense formation. So I was talking about the so far. I think those who have not attended, those who have not got it. I was talking about so far the tense formation. So how this types of tense formations are take place in English language. For example, so far I described the simple present tense. It's like I write a novel, and present continuous tense I am writing a novel, and present perfect tense I have written a novel, and then present perfect continuous tense I have been writing a novel. So how the role of auxiliary verb and the modal auxiliary verb takes an important role when we talk about when we think about this using auxiliary verb. In the first sentence, I write a novel. There are no auxiliary verb. It is a simple present tense. In the second sentence, I am writing a novel, which is present continuous tense. There is an auxiliary verb. The auxiliary verb is itself is, am is auxiliary verb. Okay. I know I because you all said that the voice is clear. So now you just stop sending messages through a comment. Whenever I seek for some clarification, you can just drop me a message. Okay, Sarita Yell, you're saying that now the voice is clear. Okay, Sarita, fine. But now all of you stop using the messages, so that I tend to look at the screen quite often, the comments. So that doesn't matter. Now you do one thing. Just listen. Whenever I seek some clarification, then you can just drop a message. All right, that's fine. So the last one is Sachin. You stop sending messages. I mean, all of you not to drop any messages, so that I just go ahead. Yes, I got the confirmation that yes, you're going to listen and you're attending. That's fine. So coming back to, I was talking about this tense formation so far. How the role of tense and the auxiliary verbs and the modal auxiliary verb takes an important role in English language, because this course, that is English for communication and the soft skills, in order to communicate, in order to express our ideas and thoughts, the tense formation become very, very important. Because I told you in the beginning, whenever you speak, the all the 12 types of sentences, like 4 sentences in present and 4 in the past and the 4 in the future, will be one among the sentences whatever we speak. So far now I described the present tense form, and now coming back to the past tense. In the past tense, we have the sentence like I wrote a novel. So the verb, it is in a present, in a past, simple past form. So I is a subject, wrote is a verb, and a novel is an object. So I wrote a novel. It is a simple past tense. In the present form, it was I write a novel. Now it is I mean, in the past, present tense, it was I write a novel, and in the past, it is like I wrote a novel. So now the past continuous tense, that is I was writing a novel. In the present continuous tense, it is like I am writing a novel, whereas in the past continuous tense, I was writing a novel. In the third sentence, past perfect tense, it is I had written a novel. So now you got another auxiliary verb, that is had. We have have is a present form, and whereas had is a past form. Okay, and here had written a novel. When you talk about the perfect sentences, it is always there in the past participle. For example, I had written a novel. It is a past perfect tense. Whereas in the present, present perfect tense, it is like I have written a novel. In the past perfect, it is I had written a novel. So I have written a novel, I had written a novel. There is a lot of difference. So the last sentence, that is a past perfect continuous tense. That is, I had been writing a novel. What does it mean? In the present continuous tense, it is like I have been writing a novel. So have been writing was in a present continuous tense, whereas in the past, I had been writing. So have been writing and had been writing. Look at the difference. So here, the past perfect continuous tense is like I had been writing a novel. I had been writing a novel. So this is the past perfect continuous tense. For example, when you are going to use this word, I had been writing a novel. For example, between 2010 to 2020, I had been writing a novel. But in 21, I have just completed it. I had written a novel. So you are using this kind of a tense formation to express your okay, Ananda. That's fine. Okay. Some of you are expecting me to respond in Kannada. I think I'm making a language very simple. Everyone easily can follow it. Today I'm teaching grammar portions like what is a tense and the role of auxiliary verb and the modal auxiliary verb. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು, ಐ ರೈಟ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡೆ. ಐ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್, ರೈಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ವರ್ಬ್, ನಾವೆಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್. ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯನ ಬಳಸ್ತೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, in order to create a sentence, you always think about 3 words, that is the subject, the verb, and the object. For example, I is a subject, right is a verb, and a novel is an object. So always when you think about a sentence, you should always think about the subject, verb, and the object. For example, I'll give you another sentence. She sings a song. Okay, and then she sings a song. She is a subject, and sings is a verb. A song is an object. Like she sings a song. So every sentence, for that matter, you have the subject, the verb, and the object. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯವನ್ನು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಐ ರೈಟ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಬಳಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಬ್ ಅದು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂತು. ಅದೇ ವಾಕ್ಯವನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಸುವಂತದ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್ ಅಂತ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಪದವನ್ನ ಬಳಸಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಮುಂದೆ? ಐ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಈಗ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಅಟೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯು ಪೀಪಲ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡೆಲಿವರಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಲಿಸ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಹಾಯಕ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಪದ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರಿ ವರ್ಬ್ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಗಮನಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಯು ಗಾಟ್ ಮೈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್, ಇದು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ನ ಎರಡನೇ ಒಂದು ಆವೃತ್ತಿ ಅಂತ, ಎರಡನೇ ಒಂದು ರೂಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮೂರನೇ ವಾಕ್ಯ ಬಂದು, ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ನೋಡಿ, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಮಗೆ 4 ತರದ ವಾಕ್ಯ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಇದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಟನ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್. ನೋಡಿ, ಐ ರೈಟ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರಿಟನ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂತು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಿಯಾಪದ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಒಂದು ರೈಟ್, ರೋಟ್, ರಿಟನ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, 3 ತರದ ಒಂದು ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ದ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್, ದ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪಲ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೈಟ್, ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೋಟ್, ಅಂಡ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಟನ್. ಈ ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಗಮನ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ when you create a sentence form. So the present perfect tense is I have written a novel. ಅದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬೀನ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬೀನ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೊಂದು ಗಮನಿಸಿದ್ರಿ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ತರದ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರಿ ವರ್ಬ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಎರಡನೇ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಮ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರಿ ವರ್ಬ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಮೂರನೇ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರಿ ವರ್ಬ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಸಹಾಯಕ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಪದ ಇತ್ತು. ಇನ್ನು ಕೊನೆಯ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬೀನ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂತು. ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬೀನ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಸಹಾಯಕ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಪದವನ್ನು ನೀವು ಗಮನಿಸಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು 4 ವಾಕ್ಯಗಳು ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಅದೇ ತರ ನಮಗೆ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್, ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್. ನಾವು ಮಾತನಾಡುವಂತಹ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯ ಈ 12 ವಾಕ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 4 ತರದ ವಾಕ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸಿದ್ವಿ. ಅದೇ ತರ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು 4 ತರದ yes, Nirmala is saying that yes, yeah, true. That's true. So present tense ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು, you come across 4 types of sentences within okay. So ಅದೇ ತರ when you talk about the past tense, ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ 4 ತರದ ವಾಕ್ಯಗಳು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So how are we going to make use of this sentence? The first sentence, simple past tense. So this sentence is like, I wrote a novel. So if you understand this elementary grammar exercises, it will help you for further further sentences, how to be formed using idioms and phrases, the phrasal verbs and other language exercises. So the first sentence is simple past tense, I wrote a novel. So here the verb, it is in the past form. And the second sentence, past continuous tense. So here I was writing a novel. ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಐ ಆಮ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂತು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಐ ವಾಸ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಟುಡೇ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಡೆಲಿವರಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಟುಡೇ. Today I am delivering a lecture today, and yesterday I was delivering a lecture. Tomorrow I will be delivering a lecture. So I am, I was, and I will be. These are the important auxiliary verb should be aware of when you understand English grammar, especially when it comes to auxiliary verb as such. So am, was, and will be. So these are the and then if we come back to the second sentence, that is a past perfect tense. Here you are using the word I had written a novel. Whereas if you look at the first sentence, I have written a novel, the present perfect ಅಂತ ಮಾತಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ verb ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು participle ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Should remember. But whereas the auxiliary verb have ಅದು it is a present form ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, but verb ಮಾತ್ರ past participle ಇರುತ್ತೆ. For example, I have written a novel, ನಾನೊಂದು ಕಾದಂಬರಿಯನ್ನ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು when you look at that into a past perfect, I had written a novel. ನಾನು ಇಂದು ಒಂದು ನಾವೆಲ್ನ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ. ಲಾಂಗ್ ago, some 20 years ago, I had written a novel. But today, I have written another novel. See, I had written a novel long ago, some 20 years ago. I had written. See, had written, it indicates the past participle. Whereas, if you say in the present form, I have written a novel, I will write a novel, that we say in the future form. So now I'm talking about the past perfect tense, which is I had written a novel. And if you get back to the last sentence, that is a past perfect continuous tense. How it is like, I had been writing a novel. As I told you, between such and such a time, I had been writing a novel. Between 2010 to 20, I had been writing a novel. So these are the four sentences in the past tense. And now if we look at the another four types of future tenses, which are the four types of the future sentences here. The first one, like we have a simple present and the simple past, we have here the simple future tense. So how it is like, I will write a novel. I will write a novel. I will write a novel. It is a simple future tense. I will write a novel. So here there is an auxiliary verb. Can anyone tell me what is the auxiliary verb here? Nirmala or anyone? So now you can just drop me a message. If I say that, I will write a novel. So what is the auxiliary verb there? What auxiliary verb you come across? So the auxiliary verb, will anyone tell me? The sentence is this: I will write a novel. Okay, the auxiliary verb, I did not get the, yes, Jacinta Swarnalata said that. So will is an auxiliary verb. You're absolutely true. Yes, you're right. Okay, now you stop. So now, coming back to the another sentence, the second future tense, the simple future tense, it is I will write a novel. And whereas in in the next sentence that we have here is the future continuous tense. That is, here we have I will be writing a novel. For example, no, as I told in the beginning, like I am writing a novel, I was writing a novel, I will be writing a novel. I am writing a novel, it is a present continuous tense. I was writing a novel, it is a past continuous tense. And I will be writing a novel, future continuous tense. Take an example. Today, I am writing a novel. Yesterday, I was writing a novel. Tomorrow, I will be writing a novel. So in the future context, we use the word that I will be writing a novel. So, and then, okay, the now, the next future tense, that is a future perfect tense. So what is a future perfect tense? That is, I will have written a novel. The future, the perfect. In the present perfect, I have written. In the past perfect, I had written. Whereas in the future perfect, I will have written a novel. I will have written a novel, which means probably, in the future context between 2021 to 23, during that time, I will have written a novel. Probably, so we are telling it in a future context that the work has been perfectly done. We are referring it in a future context. So I will have written a novel. I will have written a novel. And the last one that we have here is that future perfect continuous tense. That is, I will have been writing a novel. So this we can say again in the future context that I will have been writing. So in the future that you will have been writing since many years. Okay, so there is a longer duration. There is a larger gap. I will be writing another one in future context and then I will have been writing and there is a larger gap, probably from 2023 to 27 during that time. So I will have been writing that novel. That means that like for example, I told you I had been writing a novel. That such and such a year I had been writing a novel. So everything is based on the time and the duration when we use it, when we talk about auxiliary verb and helping verb. They are one of the same. So, dear students, so far I explained, in the beginning, I never knew that you are not getting my voice. I taught it for almost half an hour. And after that, immediately I saw comments and I found that the voice was not at all clear. But immediately I changed the gadgets, I changed another mic. That's fine. And so, dear student, today, I talk about, the skill development program in a nutshell, and especially English for communication, the soft skills. I also briefed the entire what is this all about, what do you study in the unit 1, 2, and 3. As I told you in the beginning itself, I am Dr. Natraj. I'm the head of the department, the chairperson, English department, KSOU Mysore. And today I'm very happy to deliver, the talk on grammar portions. And today I deliberately took up this component because this is an elementary grammar to make you to learn how the sentences are being structured, how the sentences are to be created. ಭಾಷೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಕ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಹೇಗೆ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಎಸ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ಲಿ ಐ ಯೂಸ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್. ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗಾನೆ. So, because since it is an English department, we are the English teachers. Unless and until if the student doesn't require, students, they don't request. You yaವಾಗ request ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ, certainly then I certainly use this language, Kannada language in between. But I never knew that, so that's fine. So now, Nobody, you're attending a class, somebody Ratna certificate ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ. You shouldn't say all that, okay? Some of you do not unnecessarily message. No, don't do that. This is not the time to collect your certificate. Okay, you attend the class, keep all that in the file. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರ್ ಸರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, he will certainly assist you. Okay, so coming back to this, I was describing you how the role of tense formation in the entire the grammar portion. So far I described how there are 4 types of present tense and the past and the future. I'll also give you another example. I was talking about in the simple present you have she sings a song. She sings a song. Okay. Okay, some of you have been sending unnecessary messages. Don't do that, because if I just see that that somebody dropped a message, I tend to look at that. So don't do that now. You can keep your doubts, for later on. Okay, that's fine. So so far I take up one sentence. So far I took up one sentence and I converted into 4 types of sentences. For example, I write a novel ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯವನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು 12 ತರದ ವಾಕ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, isn't it? So we converted the same sentence into 12 types of sentences. For example, I repeat the whole sentence once again. You just listen, and I write a novel. I am writing a novel. I have written a novel. I have been writing a novel. ನಾಲ್ಕು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ am, have and have been ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರಿ ಪದಗಳನ್ನ ಗಮನಿಸಿದ್ವಿ. Same sentence in the past. I wrote a novel. I was writing a novel. I had written a novel. I had been writing a novel. So here, was, had, and had been auxiliary verbs in the past tense. And the last sentence, that is, I will write a novel. I will be writing a novel. I will have written a novel. I will have been writing a novel. So here, you come across will be, will have, and will have been. So ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಸಹಾಯಕ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಪದಗಳನ್ನ ಗಮನಿಸಿ. So the same sentence, I read a novel, used, made use of 12 types of sentences. So this is the important thing now. So whenever you create a sentence, where you make a sentence which has a subject, the verb, and the object, and you can convert into all these 12 types of sentences, like 4 into 3. That means all this simple, continuous, and perfect continuous tense, whether it's the present or the past or the future. So now I'll take another sentence like she sings a song. It is a simple present. She is singing a song. It is a simple present continuous tense. She has sung a song. It is simple the present perfect. And she has been singing a song. It is present perfect continuous tense. So she sings a song. She is singing a song. She has sung a song, and she has been singing a song. The 4 different types of present tense form. So here you come across is the auxiliary verb, has is the auxiliary verb, and has been is the auxiliary verb. And the same sentence in the past tense. She sang a song. Sing, sang, sung. She sang a song, and she is singing a song. She is singing a song. She had sung a song. She had been singing a song. So the same sentence, you saw the present past tense form. Here the auxiliary verbs are is, had, and had been. So I repeat the sentence. She sang a song. She is singing a song, and she had sung a song, and she had been singing a song. So he's had and had been auxiliary verb. So ಸಹಾಯಕ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಪದಗಳು ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, auxiliary verb ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, they are very very important in English language. So now the last sentence, that is a future, and how this sentence can be made use of in the future tense. She will sing a song. As I told you, I will read a novel. She will sing a song. She will be singing a song. As she will have sung a song, and she will have been singing a song. I repeat the sentence. She will sing a song. Will is the auxiliary verb. She will be singing a song. Will be is the auxiliary verb. And she will have sung a song. Will have is the auxiliary verb. She will have been singing a song, and will have been is the auxiliary verb. Look at the sentence. Simple present, simple future. She will sing a song. Future continuous tense. She will be singing a song. And future perfect tense. She will have sung a song. I told you always in the perfect, the verb will be past participle. For example, sing, sang, sung. For example, this is the future perfect. You use the word, she will have sung a song. And the future perfect continuous tense, she will have been singing a song. So these are the four the same sentence, like she sings a song is converted into 4 12 sentences. Dear learners, dear students, all the first year BA and BCom students of Karnataka State Open University, and the English department, head of the department, Chennai. So far I just described. I'm glad that you have chosen this course, that is English for Communication and Soft Skills. I'm very happy that you all have selected it as your selection, as an optional for your skill development program. And so far, I took up a grammar portions called tense. I have present and the past and the future, and how the same tense form will be converted into 4 types of. In the present, there are 4, the past 4, and the future 4. And I also gave you the two example for each. For example, I write a novel and she sings a song. They're keeping the same sentence for all the 12 sentences we have changed. So I also request you, I also advise you to, make use of some good, our university libraries. There are wonderful grammar books, and the best example, grammar book that you all know, that Wren and Martin grammar book, where you will come across all these variegated, different types of tense form. And so I hope you are clear now. So that I'll take up another important important component, important grammar aspect, that modal auxiliary verb. And what I'll do, I just tell you which are the modal auxiliary verb, and that I leave you for exercises, that you can do a lot of exercises making use of libraries, otherwise internet materials and all that. So which are the modal auxiliaries? So far we have dealt with the auxiliary verbs like is, was, are, the verb, has, have, had, which you come across just now. And am is also auxiliary verb. Am is an auxiliary verb which we use only in front of I as a pronoun. So I am, we say that I am an Indian. So am, is, was, is a singular present tense, and the was is also singular but the past. So is, was, are is a plural, and the past tense were. We are today, we were yesterday. So is, was, are, were, has, have, had, all these are called as an auxiliary verb. And now there are also other auxiliary verbs. They're called as a modal auxiliary verb. So which are the modal auxiliary verb? The modal auxiliary verbs are these. You all of you have heard. You all of you heard them. That the first we have can and could, will and would, shall and should, may and might, the dare, ought, need. There are 11 types of and also must. Also must. Or there are 12 types of model auxiliary verb. I mean, sorry, model auxiliary verb. I told you that is we have can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, dare, must, ought, and need. There are 12 different types of model auxiliary verb. You can just refer very good libraries. And so here, if I say that, see, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So there are 12 types of model auxiliary verb. So when do we use the word can? So can, it indicates, can is always used to say that something is possible. Something is possible, that somebody has the ability to do something. For example, I can read a novel. I can read an English novel. Anybody cannot read an English novel unless if you are aware of English language, if you know the English language thorough, ins and out, and then you can read the novel. For example, I can say I can read a novel, I can swim, I can dance. It indicates the ability of a person. So can is used to say that something is possible, okay, and somebody has the ability to do something. So can is a model auxiliary verb. I told you auxiliary verbs like ಸಹಾಯಕ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಪದಗಳು ಅಂತ ನಾವೇನ್ ಕರಿತೀವೋ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ is, and, was, were, or, has, have, had. All these are called as an auxiliary verb, and we have a model auxiliary verb. ಎರಡು ತರದ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So model auxiliaries ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ model auxiliaries ಅಂದ್ರೆ, as I told you, there are 12 like can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, dare, ought, and need. So all these sentences should be aware of. So I'll give you a clue, and you can just do a little exercise on that, do a little research on that, and you will certainly understand. Because I have other grammar portions to also be dealt in this class too. For example, you say that I can swim. You can swim. He can swim. So can be used in terms of pronoun like I, a third person like she, he, or it. So it indicates the ability to do something. So if you talk about the could, could is used as a past tense of the can. Can, could, I said. So could is used as a past tense of can, and it is used to talk about the ability, freedom, or was able to do something. Yes. For example, can you do that? Yes, I could do that. Okay. So if you could do that, if you can do that, if you were able to do that function, then you say that yes, I could do that. So in that sense, we can use the word, especially in terms of general ability. For example, sentences like we could go to abroad, and that means in the beginning itself, for anybody, it is not a cakewalk. It's not a simple walk to go to abroad. We can say that once you had been that, yes, I could go to abroad. I had gone over there. I could go to abroad. So it indicates a kind of ability that the student can, anybody can express. And we have a number of sentences. For example, in a negative sentence, I couldn't do that. Can you do that? You can say in the negative, I cannot do that. Yes, I could do that. Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't do that. So in the past tense, you can say that. In the positive, can you do that? Yes, I could do that. I can't do that. I couldn't do that. So you can say that in a different formations. And again, you have, we have a may and might. These are the sentences we are used in the, something possibility. Okay, in future, the possibility in the future. For example, you can say that, may I go now? He may be elected as a president. May his soul rest in peace. So all these words we can use in a different formation. For example, it may be true. It may rain today. We say that in a future possibilities. So in the same way, we have sentences like might. For might, we say it might be true. In the future possibility, there is uncertainty. It might be true because there is not ascertained. So may and might, they are always talking about the possibilities in the future, the possibilities, but not certain. The possibilities of, I might be going to Calcutta next week, and then you have she may be true. So or may we always use in terms of the future, content, future context. So the same thing to do with your must, as in will would. We know that just now I described the will. We say it in the past tense, and we say in the future tense. And then we have other sentence like shall, where there is a less possibility, less again uncertainty. For example, the shall and should. I we can say that uh, like you are look tired, you should go to bed. So when we say that, when we should, we expect the kind of we use in a sentences where we ask to do something, like you should do certain obligations. So there we use the word should. And again the same must is also a thing where we use, like you must have gone home now, you must pray for somebody else. Again, it's an obligations where you have to do something, certain obligations. Then you use the word the must. Same thing to do with a need. Need, and you may need your help. She may need your help. So in that, then, and ought, you ought to do that. That means it's a compulsion, it's an obligation. So there are varieties of modal auxiliaries. There are multiple sentences here. I'm not going to delve all the modal auxiliaries here. So I'm just introducing them, and you can just do a little research on them, so that I'll take up another grammar component, that is, a phrasal verb. I'll take up now. So I repeat that today I taught to a certain extent, holistically, completely, the auxiliary verb and the modal auxiliary verb. So I told you modal auxiliaries like can, could, may, might, the will, would, shall, should, and as I told you, must, the dare, and ought, and the need. So you can say that, and I told you, when you use the word ought, they ought to helping. That talks about the duty, the obligations. These are all. And then when you talk about the need, she needs your help. And then when you talk about the dare, you say that she dared to call him a liar, because it talks about that, yes, you're challenging somebody. I dare to say that. So dare, we use the word when we challenge with somebody else. So all these 12 types of modal auxiliaries that you should be keep in your mind. And now I'll take up another important component, that is a phrasal verb. So today I'm just talking about completely. Yes, I could overcome here. Yeah, in that context also you can use it. So please do a little research on that. You'll get n number of different types of sentences. So now I'm taking another component, that is a phrasal verb. So what is this phrasal verb? The phrasal verbs are a component the where the use of verbs with preposition. So phrasal verbs ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ phrasal verbs ಅಲ್ಲಿ dear student, just listen. If you frequently keep on sending messages, I tend to see your comments. So stop sending messages to a comment, to put putting comments. So there'll be a time where I just ask you for your observation that you can just put. So now I'm talking about phrasal verb. The first is a tense, auxiliary, and the modal auxiliary verb. So now I'm talking about the phrasal verbs. As I told you, the phrasal verbs are a verb which has both a main verb as well as preposition. For example, the phrasal verbs, their use of verbs with the preposition. The verb used with preposition. For instance, I'll just make a sentence. For example, I am looking for him. That means I am looking for him. So looking for, that means you're searching for somebody else. For example, if I say looking for, that means you're searching for. Looking is a verb, look is a verb, for is a preposition. Another sentence, you should look after her. For example, I'm looking for him, which means I'm searching for him. Okay, looking for. See how we are using the main verb as well as a preposition. So coming back to this sentence, you should look after her. You should look after her. If I say that you should look after her, what do you get in your mind? What is this look after? It is almost like an idiomatic expression. Look after. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by look after? Look is a verb. After is a preposition. So now I can invoke your presence to put a comment here. So you should look after means look is a verb, after is a preposition, which means you should take care of. Look after in the sense you should concern, you should take care of them. So that is a tone that you are getting. So okay, and look after, as I told you, verb as well as preposition. When you talk about the preposition, there are n number of them. There are many prepositions. Like you have, can you name some preposition? Like yes, take care of, like in, on, off, beneath, below, about, with, of, double off, and at. So there are preposition of time, place, and so on and so forth. Yes, taking care of. That's true. So here, so as I told you, phrasal verbs are always combined with a verb plus and then preposition. The verb and the preposition. So the best example is like I am looking for him. So it enhance your the language sophistry. It enhance your language potentiality, your language capabilities, your language efficiency. When you use a phrasal verbs, when you are aware of tense formation, when you're aware of modal auxiliaries, when you're completely aware of this modal auxiliaries and other form, and that indicates that yes, you are when you're thorough with all this, that means yes, you are getting the language efficiency, language capacity, and capabilities. So now another sentence is like you have to stand by me. That means you need to support me. Stand is a verb, main verb, and by is a preposition. So you should stand by me. This is like somebody is supporting, somebody is there to help, a lending hand, like they're there to help you out in that sense. So now another, I just tell you some 10 phrasal verbs. Then I stick on to another the grammar the part portion that I'm going to deal with that idioms and phrases. I just tell you some 10 or 15 idioms and phrases, and then I'll just get back to. I just stop the session. So now I'm teaching you the phrasal verbs, some 10 phrasal verbs, then how you can make it. You'll get the number of books about phrasal verbs and number of books about the idioms and phrases. So now the another sentence that here we have is the bear with, bearvith. So what do you mean by bear with? Bear with in the sense like you need to ಸಹಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದು. You need to endure, kindly bear with me, ಸಹಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಂಥದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, bear with ಅಂತ ಪದ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದರ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ to show the patience or a cooperate. If somebody we say that kindly bear with me, that means you need to understand my problems, and let's show the concern in that sense. So bear with is a preposition, bear is a main verb. So how, what it gives a meaning? So bear with, which means to show the patience or a cooperate. The sentence is like this: in view of the heavy losses suffered by the company, okay, the shareholders were requested to bear with. So because they had a loss, sudden loss of shareholding and the business and all that, they requested to bear with, kindly cooperate and all that. So another the phrasal verb here I'm giving you is like come across. Come is a verb, across is a preposition. So come across, which means meet by chance. I come across many old friends of mine. I come across. Instead of saying that I met my friends, you can use these phrasal verbs to make your language little emphasize and sounds better. Saying that I come across yesterday all my villagers, friends, and many other. We say that come across means I came across my old friend in the market yesterday. I come across, because I've just gone through. I just met by chance. I just happened to see them. So in that sense, we use that word, come across. Okay, Nirmala, fully Honda. Sir, sound clear, sir. Okay. So after half an hour, you're saying the sound is clear. Okay, because almost since 40 minutes, the sound is clear, I guess. Look into. Yes, look into is also a phrasal verb. So I'm just giving you a few examples so that in the rest for you to do a little research on that. So now I was saying that come across, which means you met somebody by chance. And another one that is, I say the fifth one, I just tell you some 10. So the fifth one is cope with. You need to cope up with somebody else. You need to cope up with people, friends, and relatives. So what do you mean by cope up? Cope COP, cope is a verb, with is a preposition. Cope up with, manage. You need to cope up with, you need to manage things, you need to understand and all that. So they cope up with all the problems cheerfully. Despite of all the problems, they cooperated cheerfully. That means they cooperated well. So this is cope up with. Another one, so you can say that the next one is the cut down, cut down, which means curtail, reduce. Cut down in the sense, cut down your expenditures. You should cut down all the things which spoils your health and all that. So cut down in the sense, like, to reduce, which means the sentence is like this: since you're out of job these days, you must cut down your expenditures. You need to cut down your expenditures because these are the days where you have out of your job, you lost your job, so that yes, cope up with the situation. That means you're using this word. So, and after that you have another important, that cut down in the sense, okay, I just told you that cope up with also that. And now I just tell you another one, that is do away with. Do is a verb, and away with, we can say that's a preposition. So that means eradicate. Do away with in the sense, you are nothing to do with that. You need to eradicate them completely, take off everything. So do away with in the sense, like, we should do away with the social evils. Social evils ಅಂತ ಏನಿದೆ ಅವುಗಳಿಂದ ನಾವು ದೂರ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅವುಗಳಿಂದ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ನಿರ್ನಾಮ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಿರ್ಮೂಲನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Eradicate the kind. You should do away with complete social evils ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So do away with, it is another phrasal verbs. There are thousands of phrasal verbs. There are n number of phrasal verbs. But here are a few a significant phrasal verbs that I'm giving you so that you can make use of that. So the next one, I say it's eighth or seventh one, that is get along. Get is a verb, along is a preposition. Get along. So what does it mean? See, a verb and a preposition gives a complete meaning. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ತುಂಬಾ ಹೊತ್ತು ಮಾತಾಡಿದೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸಾರಿ ದಟ್ ಯು ಡಿಡ್ಂಟ್ ಲಿಸನ್ ಮೀ, ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಮ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್. ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಆಫ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಥಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್. ಹಾಗೆ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಇದನ್ನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಐ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್. ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್. ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಐ ರೈಟ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್. ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಒಂದು ವರ್ಬ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಐ ಆಮ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್. ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಲರಿ ವರ್ಬ್ ಇದೆ, ಸಹಾಯಕ ಕ್ರಿಯಾಪದ ಇದೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಎ ನಾವೆಲ್. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಗಿವ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್. A group of words, a sentence is a group of words which gives complete meaning. So in the same way, this phrasal verb, there are two words. One is a preposition, one is a main verb and a preposition, which gives complete meaning here. This is what get along. I was talking about this word. So what do you mean by get along? That means you should get along very well with your friends. Get along in the sense, be friendly. You should be close with your friends. You should be closer with your friends. You should get along very well with your friends. So get along in the sense, like, be friendly. Okay, they just can't get along together because of temperamental differences. If you cannot mutually cooperate with one another, if you cannot mutually bury the hatchets ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೋಪತಾಪಗಳನ್ನ, ದ್ವೇಷಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಮರೆಮಾಚಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಬಿಟ್ಟಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, you cannot get along very well. So you need to get along very well with your friends by giving up all your evil temperaments. So get along in the sense, be friendly with people. Another one is give up. Give is a verb, up is a preposition. So how will you use the word give up? So that you're using give up in the sense, like, you should give up this bad habit. For example, stop or abstaining from. Abstaining from ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೂರ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು. Stop ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೂಡ just keep away from it. And give up ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ that is abstaining from, ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡುವಂತದ್ದು. Give up your bad habits. How is the sentence like this? So he gave up smoking to save money. So he gave up smoking, he gave up gambling in order to, for his own betterment. You say, for his own betterment, he gave up everything. So, and another important phrasal verb is that let down. Let down. Little let, the down. It's a phrasal verb. Here, which means let down in the sense like humiliate or lower down, to humiliate someone. So don't let down somebody's image. That means like we should never let down our friends. We should never humiliate our friends. So this is another phrasal verbs. And I tell you the last phrasal verb that I today is like take down. Take down. Take is a preposition. I mean, take is a verb, and down is a preposition, isn't it? So take down, which means what? Okay. Okay, okay, you got some information from the university. That's fine. So now what happens here? So the last one, take down. So take is a verb and down is a preposition. So what does it mean? Take down means like write. For example, they say take down some points. That means write down, write some points. So how is the sentence? So this one. She was busy in taking down the dictation, which the teacher was giving. So she was not taking down. That means she was not taking down. So you need to take down when the teachers ask you to take down something, ask you to write something. So these are the phrasal verb that you come across, in this language. So dear students, I taught you the phrasal verbs, and I'll give you some 10 idioms and phrases. Then I'll wind up, take down the notes, which means you need to write some notes. So now I'll give you the 10 idioms and phrases, and then I'll stop this session. So what are these idioms and phrases? Idioms and phrases, it has a different, the meaning. The meaning doesn't lies on the surface level. For example, I'll give you one example. Achilles heel. The Achilles heel in the sense like one's vulnerable point. What is his weakness? What is his Achilles heel? So Achilles heel is the idioms and phrases, and which means vulnerable point, what is weakness. So idioms and expressions are entirely different from phrasal verbs. So they have the kind of a enigmatic meaning. They have the different meaning. For example, let us see the first one. The first one is here is we have animal spirit. So through alphabetical order, I just tell you one word after that, so that I can give you a few handful of words. Animal spirits. The first, what do you mean by animal spirit? It is an idioms and phrases. So cheerfulness and the vivacity and the healthy youth. For example, when the person is around 25 to 30 years old and he's full of he's full of animal spirit. That he has that vitality, he has that kind of vivacity in him. And another one that is the black sheep. What do we call it as a black sheep? Yes, they have a very special meanings, and which are etc. Like pour hot water on like. Even better than that, I'm giving you many words here. Hope you will take down. The first is the animal spirit. Another one, the black sheep. So who do we call it as a black sheep? The black sheep means a person of a shameful reputation. For example, among 12 members, there is one black sheep in the group. That means he's a shameful reputation. He the person with a shameful reputation, a disgraceful person. Okay, Soumya, good that you have been sending some idioms and phrases. That's fine, but let me also give you some. You just stop sending comment. Okay, I'm glad if the moment if I say a word, immediately you can just respond. Okay, that means is enough. Okay, so black sheep is the one with a shameful reputation, a disgraceful member of the group. So if you want to scold somebody, like he is the black sheep in the group, he is a man with a shameful reputation. If somebody is creating some nuisance and problematic to people, you can say that. And the third one, you can say that through alphabetic order I'm giving you. First is the Achilles heel, and after that I just gave you the black sheep, and now it is cleans the agent's stables. So this is, I can just write and explain the meaning, but it will take such a long time. The story, you just listen me, and you can just do a little exercise on that. Cleans the agent's stables, which means correct a long neglected nuisance. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಬಹುದಿನದ ಕೊಳೆಯನ್ನು ತೊಳೆಯೋದು. That means there was a long, negligence, long, neglected nuisance. So that you have to cleanse the agent's stables. So that means that you need to correct the long neglected nuisance. ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ನಿರ್ನಾಮ ಮಾಡುವಂತ. And after that, you have another important phrasal verb is doubting Thomas. So doubting Thomas in the sense like a skeptic. That if a person he thinks he suspects a lot. If he suspect always, we call him as a doubting Thomas. So he's a doubting Thomas. And after that, you have another one. Um, Here is I can just say play ducks and drakes. Play ducks and drakes, which means to squander or spend resource recklessly. For example, if you're spending all the resources recklessly, you can say that he is is squandering, or he's drakes and drugs the entire resources completely. He's dwindling everything. And then you have sit on a fence. Sit on a fence, which means you're not committing to any other side. Like we say addugodamila deepa ittanti anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. So that means you're sitting on a fence. You better tell the accurate thing. You just tell the fact and you should be clear ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದು. So after that we have Greek and Latin. So Greek and Latin, it is also very popular idioms and phrases, which means unintelligible. For example, we say that we are not if you are not able to understand a novel or a mathematics or whatever, you say that it's completely Greek and Latin. And another one you have, I said that hobnob. Hobnob in the sense like HOBNOB. It's a very important indecisive. It is yes, sitting on a fence is something. Yes, it is indecisiveness. That means you are not able to decide, like procrastinating things, or you are not able to clear about what you say, and you're completely in a middle state. So hobnob in the sense like the one who keep raising the officers to get some favor. For example, you're hobnobbing somebody. You are hobnobbing to get some favor from the officials. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ, ಪೋಸಿ ಹೊಡೆಯೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. You are praising somebody to get some benefit ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So after that you have a hook or crook, another important phrasal verb. There's a hook or crook, which means by any means, by fair or foul means, that you need to achieve something. By hook or crook, I should get that. Of course, that's bad. We shouldn't get anything by hook or crook. We should get it everything with the fair means, not the foul means. So this is an important phrasal verbs. And you have make a mountain of a molehill. Another important phrasal verb, that is a make a mountain of a molehill, which means to exaggerate a difficulty. Okay, you're making a small issue into a bigger one. So then we say that make a mole out of a molehill. And after that you have another one, nip in the bud. Nip in the bud, which means you need to destroy it in the early stage. All of you should be aware of that we should nip it in the bud all the evil tendencies. ಆ ಒಂದು ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸಿಗಳನ್ನ you need to nip it in the bud. In the beginning you should remove all that. Dear student, there are n number of idioms and phrases, like smell a rat. Smell a rat, which means suspect by instinct. Suspect by instinct. That means you are suspecting something. I can smell the rat. Something has happened. Something certainly might have happened. So I can smell the rat. ನನಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇನೋ ಒಂದು ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ಗಮನಿಸ್ತೀರಾ. Okay, and after that I'm going to stop now. The last two idioms and phrases I tell you, then I'll stop the session. The one is that is, we say white elephant. What do you mean by white elephant? An unprofitable and expensive possession. Unprofitable, ಲಾಭವಿಲ್ಲದ ವಸ್ತುಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, or it is an white elephant. I mean, that means there is no use of, in the sense we say that. And after that you have say that to wash dirty linen in the public. So other important idioms and phrases, that is wash dirty linen in the public, which means to make the domestic quarrels in public. So you're bringing all the domestic things in public, making domestic issues into public. So which means dirty linen in the public. Wash dirty linen in the public, which means to make domestic quarrels in the public. So you should not wash the dirty linen in the public. So that is the sentence. So generally what happens in the exams, they'll give you some idioms and phrases words and ask you to make a sentence and writing the meaning. Of course, you might have come across in your probably because since you're all graduates, you're just beginning your graduation, undergraduation. Probably you might not have come across many idioms and phrases. Okay, because I don't know whether you have studied all in your PU +2, but in your high school, certainly you would have certainly studied them. Idioms and phrases. So, dear students, in the entire session in the morning, I regret, I never knew that there was a technical problem when I just began my lecture. I thought you were listening very clearly. But anyhow, because everything is not in our hand, because we are just communicating through this virtual mode. Sometimes network, every issues will be there, and gadgets do not cooperate at times. So anyhow, I know I'm very happy to deliver today's lecture on English for communication and soft skills. I'm very happy that your interaction, you all interacted well, and I'm very happy of your active participation. You are so active. You are telling the words. You're clarifying your doubts and all that. So, dear students, I'm going to stop this session. I replied for you one of your queries and I stop the session. So I'll take Sachin Iligar. He has sent a message. Let me see what is he saying here. How to have strong command over English in terms of understanding for a long course of reading. Okay. So, for which you ought to be a literature student. Generally, the language English students, those who have not taken up English literature, like history, economics, and political science students, probably they will have some problems like what you are saying. But if you take up your English literature in graduation, like if you are doing your English, for example, my combination when I did my undergraduation at Maharajas College, my combination was like linguistics, functional English, and English literature. So all are completely related to language and literature. So what happened if you have a strong command over English in terms of understanding for long hours of reading? You need to read and read and read. You have to read the long novels, the novel which are voluminous. For example, the novels of great writers like Thomas Hardy, the novels of Charles Dickens, the novels of Jane Austen, the novels of even Emily Bronte. So they are all called as a great Victorian writer. England Victorian ಯುಗದ ಶತಮಾನದ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಬರಹಗಾರರು, because English is not our mother tongue, right? It is an English language, it's a second language to us, it is a British's language. And when you read the first language novels, like the novels of the British writers, if you keep reading novels after novel, voluminous novels, whether it doesn't matter the page, then you can have a command over your memory, comprehension, ability to comprehend. Not only that, I told you in the beginning of my lecture, like as Bacon says, reading maketh a full man, confidence element, writing in exact man. ನೀವು ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ಸಚಿನ್ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಓದದ್ಮೇಲೆ after you read a novel, you have to discuss this with your friends. You have to discuss and debate with your friends. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, you will develop the confidence and ability to demonstrate. So you need to read and you need to discuss with your friends. Reading maketh a full man, confidence element ಅಂದ್ರೆ when you make a discussion, deliberations, whatever you have read with your friends, then you have this. Then you will have no problem. Then you will have a strong command over it. So, Hodi, Adana, you share with your friends, discuss with friends. Then you will get a full man. Then you will have reading and then writing a complete. Reading make a full man. Conference reading, writing an exact man. Then you will get an exact man. So, I advise you strongly to read the novels, English novels with the great writers. Okay, hope I answered your question. So any question, another one or two questions, so that I just stop the session. Okay, see, so I am there in the department, English department, Karnataka State Open University. Since you are all our student, like of course you have English language, that paper will be there for you. Whenever you have any doubts, if you want to talk to me, you can get my number in the website. Okay, and there are even the other students. There are students of literature, language, and other history, economics students too. So hope today's session was really helpful to you, and somehow you comprehend whatever I said. In a certain extent, that really helped you, I believe. And you have my number in the website. You can take my number that I've given to us, 9741219820. You can just talk to me during the official time between 10:30 to 5:30. So otherwise, you can always visit to the department. You can come to our department, university campus, and we are there to help you out if you are. Okay. Another question is by Sai Priya. Sir, in cope with there are two prepositions. You told with is a preposition. Why can't take up cope up with? Yeah, the yes, cope up with can is it's a preposition. There are two prepositions. You told that told with is a preposition. No, yeah, with is a preposition. I told you phrasal verbs, it is always with a preposition and main verb and a preposition. Cope up, and a cope up with is also a phrasal verb. It's a phrasal verb. Okay. Yeah, there are some sorts of phrasal verbs in English. Okay. Cope up with. You have to say cope with. You know, you can't say that. Cope up with. You have to say that. So, Hanura Swami, thank you all of you people. You can talk to me during official time between 10:30 to 5:30. I wish you all the best. Good luck to you people. I'm going to leave the studio. Okay. Thank you very much and good luck to you people. Okay. Yes, thank you, Manoj Gowda and Veena Prasad, Nisrika Jagadish, and Bharti, Chetan. So, shall I? I'm going to leave the studio now. Yes. Okay. Bye, bye, bye. See you people.